This is episode 271. Does it have one pickup or six? Did I say that wrong? Is this one pickup or six? Anyway, it's one of those.
Whatever.
Whatever.
You know, it's just, what we're talking about.
Right, exactly.
Oh, you don't, because we haven't told you. We're looking at
Yes.
the 20 most watched guitars on Reverb from last year. So half of them are definitely not Les Pauls. Tune in to find out what they might be.
Woo!
It's the tone control. Kapow.
Boom!
Hello and welcome.
Hello and welcome to Derek and Justin Make Stuff Up.
I do actually have a lot of Star Wars stuff to talk to you about today.
So this is just to let the audience in on a little behind the scenes. That is Derek and Justin speak. We have our own language. That was Derek and Justin speak for we better fucking get to it because otherwise this one's going to take 2 hours.
But I'm just letting you know, like, they're guaranteed Star Wars this time.
Yeah, we guaranteed. Wow, guaranteed Star Wars. Love that. Love that.
What's going on with you?
Well,
Things seem to have calmed down over there for the time being.
Yeah. So I was really okay. Well, so two things. First of all, I'm okay. I have this slight possibility that I'm sick with what my wife had for the last few days.
Okay.
But
Gross.
if I do, it's not hit me very hard. She had some kind of weird virus that, like, in her case, gave her a migraine and was very stomach related and gave her a fever for a while and like all kinds of stuff. And we tried really hard. We did another one of these, try really hard not to share it with the family kind of things. And it feels like it worked. But like today, I'm like really tired. And, sometimes it's like a Monday, like, oh, time to like exercise. This is the hardest day of the week to get up motivation, at least for me, And
Switching out of the weekend zone, yeah.
Yeah, and it was like a lot worse than just it's a Monday kind of thing. And anyway, Marielle asked me like, are you feeling all right? Don't lie to me. And I couldn't. I was like, I don't know, man. But anyway, so
TBD.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I'm fine. I think I'm probably fine. I think I'm probably just tired and I'm trying to make excuses for myself. But
I mean, being tired has a lot to do with it. Like it just, you can feel weird from being tired. That's not, that as well as anybody, but like,
it's just, I got my eye on like,
right. When there's something like
this one
the house,
made wife puke her guts out. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
right.
it's like my eyes are on there in the periphery.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I don't think any of that's going on. So the thing that we were right before push record is a few days ago, I looked at my phone and for some reason, somehow that I cannot remember anything that would cause this, the glass on top of the camera lens had shattered.
Oh, okay.
And so I like finished chipping it out of the way and I like peered through the camera, and it can take pictures and they look pretty normal. And I was like, well, we've had this phone for a long time. I really don't want to buy a new phone until the new ones come out in like the fall.
Like 2 months, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, I'd really like to just chill. I use my phone camera as my camera. That's this. I use the Elgato Epic Cam app. And it's a little soap opera-y looking, I'm noticing now that I finally set it up here. It's got sort of a little haze.
There's a little grease the lens kind of look.
Yeah, and I was like, which I couldn't really see in any of the pictures that I've taken over the last few days. But like now that we're in video mode, I'm like, okay. And then right as we're about to push record, the autofocus was just like confused as fuck. It was like bouncing, and I was like, it basically made me look like I was. Oh, see, I just caused it. I just caused it to happen again. So
that's a cool party trick.
I'm gonna try to not have that happen. It's clearly getting the autofocus is getting confused.
It's like
I may be able to switch that off.
It's making fun of you somehow. You like this?
So,
yeah. Look at this.
Yeah. It looks like I'm trying to do it in the edit, But if you look, like you could see in my background, what's happening is like, it's just, it's going like super depth of field on me when
it's
it
like,
shouldn't.
There it is. Wait, no. There it is. Oh, wait.
So,
it is. Dang it.
I'm going to probably, in a second, I may flip this around and see if I can force a fixed focus on it. And then we'll see if that helps. So, but anyway, yeah, that's, oh my God.
Was that, you heard the dog outside?
It's a dog, right? Okay.
Yeah. It's just windows open. So
that's fine. Yeah. He's enjoying the show.
Yeah. It's like, get a load of this guy.
Look at his bouncy camera. All right. How are you doing?
So cool.
And,
I'm fine.
And while you talk, if I suddenly move my camera around, it's because I'm trying to do the focus thing. All
give
right.
it a go. Yeah. Oh boy, this is hilarious. I'm fine. Let's see what's going on. I'm teaching again. I don't know if I mentioned that on the show or not, but I'm in the middle of a teaching term right now, and it's like going really well. This is my third or fourth. I can't remember now. Actually, third or fourth term. This dog. Oh my God! Shut up, neighbor dog. Third or fourth term teaching, and to my surprise, the students are very self-sufficient this time, which is delightful. So it's consideringly,
nice.
It's a lot easier than it was the last couple times. Obviously, I'm still there to help people out, and it's like my job as facilitator of the course, basically to move people through it and stuff and all that. So what's nice is that a lot of the students are just not needing all that extra help, which I like. So good for them. They're figuring it out.
Nice.
I don't know if this did it.
I'm not figuring. I keep tapping at it and it just says focus automatic, and I can't.
Yeah, it'll figure itself out. It'll settle down.
You know what we can do?
That'll kind of work.
We can use the other camera.
Oh yeah, that's fine.
So the angle is obviously the focal angle is very different. Whatever. Why am I talking about freaking cameras on this show? All right. Anyway.
That's fine. You're there. Fine. You're on the show. You're on the show that we do.
We're on front camera now, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now in I don't know how many degrees of now I can see myself. That's very distracting.
Oh, okay. Well,
that's fine.
Got a Post-it note. Just put it over your face. So anyway, teaching's going well. So I don't know if I mentioned this on the show because I've kind of mentioned it everywhere else, but Granite State Comic-Con is coming up. Did we talk about this already?
I
know, I texted
we talked
you guys
about the robot stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay. So right. So they're doing as part of the Comic-Con, they're doing this is the first year of Big Dumb Robot Con is happening as part of it. So I'm going to be showcasing some of my droid builds there with some guys. I went to meet up with them. Their shop is kind of if the lake wasn't in the way, it'd be 5 minutes from here. So going around the lake, it's 15 minutes from here. But really cool. They're bringing full-size Futurama builds, right? Did we talk about that?
Right. In Discord we did. Yeah.
Person-sized Bender, person-sized
Bender-sized Bender.
Bender-sized Bender, yeah. Robot Devil, clamps. I think Roberto will be ready by then. And then also, wait, is that it? Yeah, and so then inside Bender's door, because they'll have a door on the front, the whole cast, as he brought it to these other cons and stuff, the whole cast has signed the inside of Bender's door, which is awesome.
Awesome.
He's talking with the designer who's done the plans for these droid builds that I'm doing. They're talking about doing Calculon. So
Calculon's tall.
He's very tall. Yeah. And they print on these homemade 3D printers that are massive print volumes and stuff. So you're
doing designing, getting your own larger bed and stuff like that.
Yeah. And so as the printers get larger, this is just a mechanical disadvantage thing. So as printers get larger, they also get slower. So because you can't move that much stuff that quickly, extrusion times, all that shit. So these prints take forever. But they're coming out in one piece and they're huge. So, and then the running joke is I guess the designer's
one piece, like they start at the feet.
No, not quite.
Oh, okay.
But Bender's whole head was one piece instead of many. On my printer, it would probably take 6 pieces or something. So, they're joking with the designer, is this too many? He's one of the guys around here is testing files for him because he doesn't have a large format printer where he's designing it and stuff. And he's like, is this too much? You know, like you don't need to volunteer your time for this and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no, it's great. It's really fun. And he's like, okay, well, whenever you're feeling like maybe enough is enough, let me know and we'll end on Hedonism Bot.
Who's literally a bathtub.
Right.
For the listeners who might not know.
Yeah. With the lounge chair and stuff and all that.
Yeah.
Or the chaise lounge and stuff.
Yeah.
So maybe Hedonism Bot will be coming up. But anyway, I made another droid. Here's one I prepared earlier. Look at this guy.
Oh, shoot. I'm not familiar with this one. I saw pictures of this going together, but...
This is an original design. This is not from any canonical Star Wars, which I think is super cool. Like, it's just in the Star Wars design language. And he's on a base because it doesn't have legs. It's supposed to be like a hovering robot, a hovering droid.
He like floats.
And so he spins around on here. And so this is just kind of resting on here. There's no attachment there. But this one's cool. And I've got the base has like a USB thing in the back. So there's some LEDs in here.
Neat.
Light up through the base, and it looks really cool. But this one, I learned a lot doing this one. But check this out. Check out these crossed wires here in the center. Mm-hmm. So it's like hosing or tubes. There's some on the back as well. This is an old IEC power connector for a pedal board that I had an extra of because I've had, every piece of gear you buy has the same power connector, and if you're like me, you end up with like maybe a dozen or more of these kind of kicking around, and you never get rid of them because like they're good to have. But I had one. I have a pile
in the basement, and I dip into it now and then because sometimes you're just like, well,
why not? Yeah, whatever. I don't care what it's from. It still provides power. So the one that I took it from was too short to be useful for anything. It was like a weird...
But it's long enough to be cut into 4-inch sections.
I used all of it on this droid, which I'm really pleased about. Like, I didn't have any excess. So yeah, this was really cool. Just like they're hot glued into the bottom here and then pressure fit just up into the top. Or not even pressure fit, it's just the tension from the cable pushing up. But yeah, his arms move and stuff. They're kind of like stuck. I got to glue his arms like all the way in. But it's EC1 is his name. He's got a little like astromech head.
Yeah.
And his head, like, it'll turn and stuff. But
he's got the antennas remind me of the probe droid and stuff. There's a lot of that, like you said, design language.
What was awesome about this is that this droid was provided for free. The files were. And actually, here we go. Here's the base without anything. You can see the lights coming through that. So this was one of the things that this guy does as a designer is from Droid Division. If you want to look that up at some point. When you buy something, it's usually including a bunch of extra free bonus stuff. So like the Pit Droid came with files for tools for the Pit Droid. It also came with some other like small bits and pieces. And I made this Death Trooper grenade. Like this is just a cool like sort of probe grenade thing from the Star Wars universe. So you can see these attached to the Death Trooper hilt or to the belts on in Rogue One. But so this droid EC1 was added to the free stuff from my Pit Droid, and like a notice went out and like, hey, check your Dropbox. There's a new file in there for you guys, and have at it.
Cool. That's really nice.
I love it. So anyway, EC1 is finished. I think I'm going to start on a Buzz Droid later this week. I had a print fail 5 times today.
Oh no!
And it was very obnoxious. Like I bought special filament for this. I bought a $30 file. Like I was like, yeah, this is gonna be so cool. It looks like an easy project. It looks like it's a Deadpool mask. Like I thought it would be everything I've heard of this place. Like it's so easy. You just click print, and it failed 5 times in like all these different ways. And like I cannot figure out what the fuck is happening. So it's currently going and it's currently working. So I think I'm gonna pause it overnight and pick it up again in the morning. So we'll see. Anyway. That's not the only Star Wars stuff I wanted to talk to you about.
We're not clear, folks.
We're not out of the woods yet. So I just rewatched Empire Strikes Back. Like within the last week.
I'm months because that was the last one we watched, Aria and I. So that's as far as she's up to, right?
Okay, great. So you'll know where I'm coming from with this.
Yeah, recent.
I just hadn't watched it in a while, and I had some free time after work one day. I was like, I'll start this and then finish it the next day after work. So I did. And a few things. so like coming off of Star Wars, off of A New Hope, the quality, I guess, the feel of the movies just through the roof after Empire, right? Like it's just the production is so much better, I think.
You mean
can
from
really
okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
clearly
definitely.
higher budget. Yeah, like clearly it's pull out all the stops. This is Hollywood. Whereas Star Wars
it
or New
it
Hope
ran like
originally
a train.
felt
It ran. It was like really questionable, all the turmoil, and then it ran like a train over everything. And he basically had
yeah.
none of that,
money.
none of that around the second time.
So with that though, the first 45 minutes of Empire are fucking ace. Like there is nothing stopping that movie in the first 45 minutes. It is so intense. There is so much pivotal stuff that happens one after the other, other, right? In that first sequence, which seems to go on forever. And then when Luke finally gets to Dagobah, that's when it kind of calms down. You know, like things kind of, and then you're like, God, I'm like almost halfway through this movie already. It's been tearing me up. So like, that's cool. Because in my mind, you think, or I tend to think of like, okay, there's like the Wampa stuff where Luke is in the cave, and then like they go to rescue them the next day and stuff, and then the attack on the Hoth base.
That all fight.
Yeah, that all feels in my mind like the beginning of the movie. You know? Like it's just kind of.
Yeah, I totally agree, and it's always way more. Yeah, exactly. I have the same feeling.
It's always way more than you think. In the best way.
Yeah.
Second point. Luke just starts to understand R2 at some point in the middle of Empire.
When he's really flying dig into that one at some point, because when he's in the X-wing, it's being translated to him.
Yeah, you can see it on the screen, but then at some point, unless it's just like random dialogue that could happen to fit in a conversation, but I don't know. There's the whole part where we first meet Yoda that it seems like they're conversing, and there's no translator device shown. So I don't know. It just seems like he kind of, from that point forward, seems to understand R2.
So I think if you're looking for somebody, if you're bouncing this off of me right now, I think, and we'd have to like go shot for shot and see like, does this hold up? But I think it's not that he understands him, but I'm pretty sure if we did that, we would discover that he's basically talking to himself.
Yeah,
and
I think that's what's happening.
At most, he's getting a mood out of the beeps, right? Because I mean, for one thing, there's when he goes for a swim and all that crap. It's like that's definitely all like, he's kind of imagining and then gesticulating back to R2, and then later there's a lot of monologuing, right? I don't know, what it's like something out of a dream, Yeah, it could. I feel like the whole thing could easily just be like he talks to himself for a while. But you're right. We would have to go shot for shot and be like, no.
It just kind of seems like, are you like chalking this up to that they understand each other now, or what?
Right, right.
Which is it? So,
and because it happens so much in that universe, right? It's like people get each other, and
later or at some point when Han's trying to leave the base, there's the droid with the treads on top of the Falcon, and he's like saying goodbye to everybody. And he's like, hold on. Like he's talking back and forth with the droid.
Yeah.
So Han can understand that one.
But Han speaks Wookiee. So maybe Han's special.
No. Maybe,
no,
I guess.
But like, you know what I mean?
These are
I don't know.
I'm not here like poking holes in this. I'm just like, these are observations I've made in the last week. So just throwing them out into the universe.
Star Wars sucks.
It does suck. Anyway, my other thing, again, when we meet Yoda, consider the rest of the experience we have with Yoda in all of the Star Wars franchises, right?
Okay.
In the Clone Wars, in the prequels, in just everything. We have a lot of exposure to Yoda. We know his whole thing. He's like the elder wizard character. He's this like noble wisdom. Like it's crazy. Except the first time we see him on camera, he just trolls the shit out of Luke, and it's completely out of character. It is so insanely off base for what Yoda ends up being. Like it makes no sense.
And that's the fucking trouble with all this shit, isn't it? Because in truth they were making it up. Yeah. And later decided, we're really going to settle down because like Return of the Jedi Yoda, he's still got some sass in his tank. You know what I mean? But like he's like, listen, man, I'm gonna leave you. But first, I got to have a few more wisdom moments, right? So we're just going to try to roll through this instead of just being all half jokes. And then they're like, when we go, 20 years later, and it's like, well, let's start throwing some of this prequel stuff in here. Well, let's use Yoda. Well, now he's going to be this sage guy that everybody looks to and stuff. And then that version of the character starts to develop, and it's. I mean, what am I supposed to do, right? Like complain about stuff? Like it doesn't matter.
Right.
But like,
and let me
this bothers me about the concept of prequels. This bothers me about when they do prequels to Alien. When they do Prometheus, it bugs the shit out of me, and it ruins the movie for me. Like, and I don't think Prometheus. I don't think anybody's arguing that Prometheus was like a great movie. But if there are people out there who liked that movie, it's because they can get over the fact that none of the timeline makes any sense from the perspective of like what everything looks like in the technology and stuff. And you have to do this mental gymnastics about, well, yeah, but they're really wealthy, and the Nostromo was like no, shut your face. The Nostromo was the oil barons. Okay, they worked for like Saudi Arabia of space, right? They had the money. Don't lie to me. Like I don't care what, you know what I mean? That makes no sense, and it's mental gymnastics. And I think the same thing is true. Like, when you make a prequel much later than the other movies, you have to keep one-upping yourself because of Hollywood, not because it serves the story. So,
yeah, I mean, I do in practice or I should say in theory, I love the concept of a prequel because nothing can excite you in the way that a prequel can because you already know what's coming, and that's a very satisfying thing. But you just get to learn how they got to there, which is cool. And like enter Rogue One. The greatest prequel there is. So, and
it's definitionally fan service. So we should, like, with that slack on the table to be like, okay, you know what I mean? Now go forth.
But anyway, okay, that's it. Those are my Star Wars observations today. I just rewatched it and I was like, what is the deal with this? He said, as Jerry Seinfeld, I guess. But like, I'm gonna rewatch Return of the Jedi soon and see if there's anything that jumps out like that.
Right. All of that, speaking of Yoda on Dagobah, like all of that stuff, Mark Hamill had no fucking idea what was being, I mean, they knew the lines because they practiced them, but he couldn't hear Yoda at all. The way the microphones worked on set, it just wasn't happening. He basically had to get he had to get like a nod from somebody that Yoda's finished talking, deliver your line now. It must have been horrible to act under those conditions.
Because they built Dagobah indoors on a soundstage. And so there was 4 or 5 feet of flooring like below the stage.
He's like down there
where
with
all the
his
puppeteers
hand up.
are. Under the ground, literally. So
that's where the voice is coming from, is down under there, because they did it all live, as they say.
We'll do it live. But so I don't know. I'm going to watch Return of the Jedi soon, and we'll come back with a little more like, what's the deal with the Jedi? Anyway, we also got to talk about Acolyte sometime, but we'll wait.
Yeah.
We're finished with it,
Okay. All right. Yeah.
We're
That's
finished.
fine. We can talk about it.
We'll hang on to it.
We'll hang on to it. Oh, does that mean how long?
Does that mean 23 minutes in we can
23 minutes of Star Wars. All right. What is this one? It's the Fat Bee.
Okay. Yay.
Okay. Yay. So, I've pulled up this first link. So I guess what we're going to do is we're going to tackle some of the stuff that was quasi prepped from last show.
Yeah.
And
works
that is
for me. I mean, it's going to be more
lists. Well, let's see. Ask me again after we get through the list.
So, this is the idea from last time, 270, but I found, since we were talking about like weird gear and each other ranking just obscure stuff that we could find, I tried to do a little more digging on the Reverb news and blog stuff and found the most watched guitars of 2023. So I thought that would be fun to just like look at as a group. I don't know. But remember when we mentioned like, well, the most watched guitar could be like a 59 Les Paul or something, like, and rightfully so. It would be the most watched. So take it away, Justin.
So is it 20 most watched guitars? Hey, Derek, is that a 59 Les Paul?
It's a 60, but yeah.
Damn. So close.
So close.
You missed it.
Huh?
You missed it, Reverb. Okay, so anyway, this is by Reverb. Did we say that already? Probably.
Yes. Yeah. That's a beautiful Les Paul.
So it's a beautiful, right. Now, I thought that was just a funny little throw, so I wanted to jump right in. But my hopes and dreams for this, not having previewed it, are that there's going to be some weirdos in here.
Not just like historic slam dunk guitars. Yeah.
Yeah, not just the sort of stuff that all the you know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah. Not all vintage.
I do like this. Is this amount of wood grain typical?
So
because I feel like most of the bursts are more solid than this, right?
Most of the bursts, I don't know about most, but the thing was,
all right,
in 60 they like did a lot more plain top stuff as far as I know. I think also, so 58, 59, and 60 were the years of the burst. And I think it's not even all of 58 because that's what was under the gold top. And so which was the only color it came in for a while. So the wood under there was just sort of whatever they had around. And sometimes it was the most intensely flamed maple you've ever seen. And other times it was just plain like this. And so I think Gibson at this time, like, again, not the greatest with record keeping. There's still like sort of an unknown number of how many 59s or 58s, 59s, and 60s were even made. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. But the plain top thing was not more common, but it's not unusual to see one.
Yeah. So it's a little bit like they weren't okay, bear with me here. Like a 59 Les Paul was not a 59 Les Paul at the time.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I know exactly what you mean. And so does Gibson, because in 61 they stopped making it. Because it was like it was not popular. It did not succeed. And those like through 61 it switches to the SG body style, but it was still called the Les Paul. So if you look up like a 1961 Les Paul, it's going to look like an SG, and some nerd is going to be like, that's an SG. But, you know, and some other nerd's going to be like, well, actually, it's a Les Paul. So, and then it didn't get reissued, I think, until like 1970 maybe, because there were no Les Pauls through the 60s being manufactured. So, cool. Not super popular, but here they are. Now they're the most coveted guitars of all time.
How is this?
Okay, so I think this is just a slideshow here.
Okay. And then, so if I scroll to get to the real thing kind of thing.
Scroll to get to the next one, which is, again, now this one's a proper 1959. Sorry, scroll sideways, scroll up. So we've got the 20 most watched electrics and acoustics on the same page.
Oh, got you. Okay, so this slideshow thing, I'm gonna stay right here and just got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I can actually zoom this in a little bit. Here we go.
So this is a 59, and you can see the flame is like banana.
Much more significant. It looks like a totally different species.
Yeah, it does.
Also, weirdly mirrored, huh? No. Okay, so it's a... This is a left-handed guitar for any of you.
When guitars came with straps like this, I think it was like adorable.
Oh yeah, I didn't even notice that yet.
Yeah. So a 59, you know, these guitars are actually, I think we can click into the listing for this. Wait, maybe not. There's only one 1960 Les Paul up on Reverb right now, I think, for $275,000.
Okay, what can I say about this? Not starting off strong as far as I hope there's some weirdos in here. These are two basically identical guitars.
Basically identical. The neck shape between them is going to be very different, but one of them's probably got PAFs, one of them's probably got patent number.
Right. The having these be the most watched is like,
it's not that exciting.
No, but it's I guess that shows like what are people putting on their watch lists? Stuff that they want to look at while they're sitting on the toilet.
Yeah, I wonder how many people watch these guitars just to see how long they stay available. I've done that.
Okay, right. So it's like the interest is almost like this. It's like watching an auction that you're not participating in. Yeah. So
Yeah.
okay. All right. You did a good job of making me feel better about that. All right.
Number 3. Guess what,
Fuck
Justin?
me.
Another ridiculous flame top.
This looks very similar. Look at
the
just worse
difference
photography.
Look at the the difference in the colors of the plastics too.
Let me flip back. I don't know if I can really tell.
I mean just
this
on
one
the
is a
guitar
lot
itself.
cream. Yeah.
Like look at the switch tip compared to the surround of the switch.
Oh.
Like those are both white. They're supposed to be anyway.
Wait, what? The switch
Yeah.
tip is supposed to be white?
Or cream color. Yeah.
Well, it's pretty orange on this one too.
Yeah.
Are they all
Well,
like
faded.
that?
You know, it was probably Bakelite or some random
It's
shit.
probably
It's a
because
different material than the other stuff, whatever it is.
Right, whatever the pick guard is and so on, and surrounds. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so far this is turning out on the dull side. Let's keep it going.
Let's spice it up. Ooh.
It's a fucking 58. Here, now, actually, we've spiced this up quite a bit because this is a different color.
It's a gold top. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so here's a cool thing: a 58 gold top hardtail, not hardtail, like with a tunematic and stuff, as opposed to the trapeze tailpiece.
Okay.
Awesome checking. I love the checking. I think it looks rad. You can see the flame maple under that top, like I was just talking about. You can also see some green patina in that because it was copper flake in the paint that they used to get the gold finish. And so it ages out to this greenish color. Yeah.
So it turns green when you sweat into the cracks. So that's gross.
Or when you sweat away the clear coat and it gets exposed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Well, I mean, cool.
Cool guitar. I like this. I think I dig the aged gold top look a little more than the aged flame maple look these days.
Yeah. I think if this is our current champion,
Okay, next.
in my opinion. Yeah.
I bet you the top 10 are all Les Pauls. Look at this shit.
Okay, so
this
now
is interesting,
we've got,
though.
Yeah, we've got P90s.
Yeah, and check out so you can see where the Bigsby on this guitar was.
Yeah.
And it's been filled.
This spent most of his life with a Bigsby and a pickguard on it that's come. That's pretty cool. All right.
That's pretty cool. Heavy
Yeah.
wear. But yeah, Gibson P90s. This is a 56 gold top. We're going back.
I still didn't know they were cool.
They go back to
then.
51,
Mm-hmm.
late 51 maybe. Next.
All right, what am I on? Number 6. Next, it's a fucking.
Oh, got him.
Oh,
Another
yeah.
60 Les Paul. I got to say though, I do like the color of this one a lot. Like the
Yeah,
yellow natural wood.
Let me get a better look at what's going on here. Are these? It's got little inlays or something. What are
It
these?
must have been a repair or something. I wonder
Do you
if that's
think?
where.
Do you think it's? Are they filling like a like?
I bet you
something
that's
else that was mounted
where
there?
some other tailpiece, perhaps the trapeze piece, was there, and they put it back to a tunematic. But I don't know. I like the color, that like lemon yellow.
Yeah,
Cool
blonde
wood
or
grain.
something. Would you say? Yeah,
Ish, yeah.
blonde-ish. Here we go. Got a good. All right, so cool. Another.
Cool, yeah, another
These
Les
all
Paul,
just
big
have
surprise.
slightly different pickups. Great job, Les Paul. Oh, here we go. Now here's
Here
something.
we go.
Hold on.
The Death Dagger.
So this is
Honda
like
H1 Death Dagger.
this is what do you got? One humbucker, one knob. Let me
Some
guess.
kind
it's
of
a tone knob.
tailpiece.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even see the headstock. Why did they choose this photo to put in the list?
Actually, I can send you. Let's throw.
I want to
the whole
see
listing.
more. I want to see more.
You want to
'cause
see more?
This,
Okay.
this isn't just.
I'm going to put it in our general chat. So look at it in its
Okay.
case, though, that seems to be lined with fleece.
Come on down to general. Lined with fleece. Oh, geez, sorry. I'm putting What the hell? Here we go. Sorry, that was.
This guitar
we're
is
back.
insane.
Oh shoot! Okay. Yeah, no, this is good.
Right?
I'm
This is
on
crazy.
board with this guy. Look at this son of a bitch.
Doesn't that look like a fleece North Face jacket in there?
Yeah, it's like Sherpa.
How big is that case? God, that must be huge.
And it's
So it's
all because
what?
of that
It's like
stupid
a-
fucking thing sticking out of the backside of it, the knife edge.
Yeah.
That's
It's like this enormous Explorer that's like thinner and pointier.
yeah. It's like a battle axe of a guitar, except the handle
Perhaps
is
a
just
death
totally.
dagger?
Perhaps it would be a death dagger. So close look. Look, we're nicked. That
There's a few
inlay
dings.
is
It
or
does
the,
not look-
would we call this binding? It's like just on the front.
I think it's
It's
just
like-
paint.
It's like it looks like electric tape or something.
Yeah.
No, it looks better than I shouldn't say that, but it does. It looks like
It's just a stripe, I think. I
Yeah.
wouldn't even call it binding. Because it's on the
So
front of the
this
guitar.
is-
Binding's usually on the side of the guitar.
well, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it would be, but you get like these corner bindings or something sometimes. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, it looks like it's probably just paint. I dig it. It's
It's pretty fucking extreme is what it is. Like this is
it's extreme, but like honestly, that doesn't look so impractical. You know what I mean? Like as far as like weird shapes go, like this looks like you
at that
could set
neck,
this on your
like-
knee. You know, you could
Yeah.
put this in you could shred pose this guitar. Oh, we're just looking at damage now. Back up to the whole thing. Okay, you know what I mean? Like I don't know. This looks like a comfy shred beast.
I bet you really got to be aware of your surroundings with it though.
You're gonna accidentally take out your
Like
Take out
knock
your
over
singer.
a mic stand.
yeah. I mean, the case is necessarily horrible.
Yeah.
Because what else
gonna
could you
put it
do?
in?
Right. But I mean, there's the case. How much they want
There it
for
is.
this?
$800.
I think this should have sold already.
It
Wait,
did.
it has sold. All right, good. I feel
Yeah.
better. All right. I'm happy about that one. I like it. It's
Cool.
not like a me guitar, but I yeah. Absolutely. You know what I'm
So
saying?
next
All right, anyway.
is
Okay. Once again, I feel like there's the zoomed pictures being the ones in the list is annoying me. Reverb, that's
is,
a note for
yeah.
you for later. But anyway, I like this a lot.
Do you?
I do. So what do we call this? So custom mod collection Ghost. Yeah, I like the paintwork. I like the little piping. I like the white on. I like all about it. Plus, it looks like it's a little bit matte, doesn't it?
It does. Yeah, which I think is cool.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit, but it's not totally flat paint.
Right. It's
Single
like an
humbucker?
eggshell. Mm-hmm.
What is that, like 6-ply binding?
Is it 6-ply binding? I think it's. I would think that might be just like a little pinstripe inlay kind of thing. You know.
Could be.
I think
They
that would be
do,
the way to do it.
Yeah. 2 knobs, which are like the white and clear style, which
Yeah.
is very cool. This guitar is like all black and white, which is pretty sharp.
Yeah, black metal work. The white binding on the neck is sharp. I think it's sharp. I like the white and black thing.
Cool.
Cool. 2022. All right, good one. I think that's a worthy watch. Ah! We did it.
Surprise.
All right, so what is this? Number 9. Surprise, motherfucker. It's an acrylic guitar with a bunch of fucking switches.
Here.
What is
got a
going
link.
on here? Is this 1 pickup or 6? It's one or the other. It's either 1
It's
pickup
not
or
in
6.
between.
I don't know what to do. Okay.
I put a
Remember-
link to more photos in the chat there
Okay.
for you.
Yes, we gotta see about this.
We got to
see
dive
about
in on this one.
All
Look
right,
at this
deep dive.
weird vibrato assembly.
Yeah, there's a lot under there. I can tell. Okay. Okay. Here we go. So
Spectrum
acrylic
5.
guitar. This looks. It's a guitar.
Oh, it's stereo.
Oh, good. So we've got 2 jacks, and the knobs are like metal, like aluminum, like hi-fi
Yeah, I think that's
kind
a
of
good look.
things. And we got those switches. What's the
It's like a
kind of
slider
guitar
switch.
that had a bunch of those little sliders on them?
Oh, the
I'm
Jaguar.
forgetting. Is it the Jaguar that had that? Okay, yeah. I guess.
Yeah, they didn't look
right.
like this, but it did have a bunch of sliders. Jazzmasters have a few too.
I was thinking of Mustang. It's not Mustang though. Mustang's like a Strat with a different shape, right?
I mean, Mustangs are in that zone. I think the pickup switches on that are sliders as well. They're the same style as a Jag or a Jazzmaster. Yeah.
So a bunch of little. So what we're looking at here for the audio listener, this is like an acrylic guitar in kind of PRS-y body shape ish. It's a little.
It's an offset
like that.
It's
yeah. Right. It's more, but it's that rounded kind of. Anyway.
Yeah.
And then we've got these 6 pickups that are like 3 poles each, and they're like staggered in like a zigzag. So I don't know.
Like
I guess
this config, but
yeah, I guess this could be wired, as like 3 single coils or something. But it just looks like it's either 6 or it's all wall 1.
I've also
There's
seen
only 2 knobs, so I don't know.
G&L does pickups like that as well.
Okay.
So this has sold, but it was up for like over $8,000. It was in the UK.
Wow.
It's a 1990s.
Even the pick guard, it seems to have an acrylic pick guard on the acrylic body, like all clear.
5.7 kilos.
Huh.
Which
So yeah, I guess the pick guard is just
12
for
and a half
mounting
pounds.
just for mounting the equipment there.
It has a German
so
carved top, which is super cool looking. What else? It just has unique switching system with a mono stereo and 2 output jacks for multi-amplifier fun. I'm wondering, like all those, how many switches are there? 1, 2.
6 there's 5 and then 1 that's set apart from the others.
So what are those 5 switches? Do you think they're like phase things or like,
dude,
can you split the pickups to 2 amps?
All right, so the 2 knobs are both labeled volume. So that's our mono.
That's weird.
So we've got a 1 and 2 outputs. We've got a volume for each output. So it might not be stereo. It might just be, although it says mono, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But I don't know. They could just be using the
I mean,
parlance,
just 2 outputs. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, what would be stereo about this? There's no way to do that. You'd have
unless it's just like the top pickup and the bottom pickup.
Yeah, if you like electrically split the magnets or whatever, but that doesn't make it stereo. It would I guess give it some difference. But anyway,
so like, could you send like your low
I'm being
3?
an old man about the word stereo. But anyway,
can you send like with all these switches? I'm curious if you can.
Yeah.
The bottom 3 strings go to one jack, and then the top 3 strings go to the other.
Yeah, without reading about it, I mean, I could invent some ideas of what.
Yeah,
they're not really talking about it here that I can see. Multi-amplifier. I mean, it's definitely made to be using with a dual amplifier setup. So I could imagine like we've got one switch that's set apart. So maybe that switch is deciding.
That switch, the one that's set apart, is the mono stereo switch.
Okay, so we're engaging or disengaging the second output, and then the rest of the switches could I mean, they could be configurations for in phase, out of phase, or like maybe. There's only 5 though. So I'm just wondering like which pickup is attached to which output. Maybe, the down position is output 2 and it's like you basically assign however many pickups you want to output 2 and the rest of them go to output 1 or something. Just, I don't know if that would do any good or. But with 6, there's 6 like pieces of pickup,
Yeah.
And I don't know.
I can't believe how much this sold for.
Yeah. What's going on?
I'd love to see
we
this.
Got like a Strat headstock and
the headstock's actually kind of cool. I would love to see the guts of that vibrato system there. See how that's working. That's just covering up a bunch of springs. But
here it is. Here's the pickup assembly from the back. I mean, not that I can learn anything from that, but
yeah, right. Just look through the guitar and you can. Spot how it's wired up.
So they're all just one wire, and then there's a star ground basically. That much I can see. So yeah. Anyway, whatever. Not that I thought any of them were humbuckers, but okay. So here's the vibrato system. It's got this big plate over it, a big heavy arm. Are you not going to show me the back of the? I guess they're not. Just looking at that, it looks like it's in great shape.
It does.
Oh, here's something from the back. It's all covered on the back too, though.
Yeah.
With a little hole board so that it can be grounded. That's nice.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with acrylic guitars is like that part looks ugly.
You end
But
up with all this, porting.
You see
and
all the stuff that like is inside a guitar that you don't see typically because it's
Right.
solid wood. But when that material is clear, it just reveals
Yeah.
like all these like
Yeah.
hardware bits. That's kind of weird.
Right. What else can you do? What else can you do? Any other photos? No, we're back to the start. All right.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's a weird
Okay,
one.
that was fun. All right, what are we on? 9, 10. It's just a fucking Telecaster.
It's the Squire 40th anniversary Telly. Next,
There it is. Next.
I think that tells you something about those Squires, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
PRS.
Okay, so here's
this is the most
the John
fucking-
Mayer PRS. Yeah.
Yes, but this is the most fucking blues dad dentist lawyer shit that I've ever seen, which is PRS Silver Sky John Mayer USA, owned by Carlos Santana.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Like at some point in his history, or is Carlos personally selling this right now?
that would be nuts.
Okay, well, whatever. There's a guitar that isn't a 59 Les Paul.
It's also just a black Strat thing. Anyway,
Yeah.
check
Okay.
this bitch out.
BC Rich. Is this a? It is. It's a BC Rich, but with the Explorer body shape. Okay.
Yeah. So, one thing I didn't mention at the top of the show because I was too consumed with Star Wars was I went to see Foo Fighters last week.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And they were great again because you don't have to ask.
Like I don't even have to mention that. Like, come on. But Dave pretty much plays the same guitar all night. Like he'll switch once or twice, and it's always to the same guitar model, just in a different color and tuning or whatever.
Okay.
The other guys, Chris Shiflett and Pat Smear, are changing guitars all the fucking time, and I think it's just because like they want to, and it's cool.
Yeah.
So
They're in a 3 guitar band, so
they're in a 3 guitar band. Yeah. So there's lots of room there to kind of carve out your own special thing. And the first like 4 or 5 songs, Chris Shiflett's playing a BC Rich bitch.
nice.
BICH bitch. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's and it looked beautiful. Like it just looked like one of these class. It had this wood, like the natural wood grain. It wasn't one of these weird, like, pointy. I mean, the bitch is pointy, but it's also like one of these classic
bitch is
shapes.
pointy.
That bitch is pointy. But anyway, that's all. So check this thing out. It's got the neck through.
Yeah. So a neck through Explorer. We've got. I mean,
Actually, I got a
is
link
this
for that,
natural
too, if
finish?
you
I
wanna
guess
see
it's
some more.
stained. Yeah. Let's dig in on this one because I like that.
There we go. On its way
here
to
it
you.
is.
This guitar sold as well because it was from last year for $7,500.
Woof. All right.
1986 natural finish with a fitted hardshell case. Bound solid Koa wings on a
Look at
maple
that
neck
fish.
through body.
Okay, so that's not stain then. That's the real tone of the Koa. That's beautiful.
Cool. It is.
It fucking
has-
A. Yeah.
Yeah. A set of cream finished DiMarzio DP100 super distortion in the neck position and a DiMarzio X2N Power Plus in the bridge position, 2 volume, 1 tone, and a 3-way toggle switch. 24
That's it?
5/8 scale length. That's kind of odd.
Okay. Don't feel like I've heard that one before, but I mean, whatever. Music is ratios, so you can technically do anything you want.
You can, yeah. Jumbo frets, 12-inch radius. Yeah, I mean it's a guitar. It's got this.
It's a kick. Don't, Derek. It's a nice looking.
No. I'm saying like it's got 22 frets. Like whatever. That's not what I'm here to talk about.
Oh, okay.
I'm here
I
to
get
talk
you.
about
Yeah.
that. Like you never really see neck through guitars these days. Like it seems to be
Yeah.
a thing that is a luxury. I think maybe it's also a practicality thing that makes the guitar far more difficult to repair.
Yeah. There's a risk to it. Sorry, there's a bunch of damage photos that I probably should have skipped.
Well, the
through.
thing's
Anyway,
older
back
than
to
I
this
am,
one.
so
Well, they've done a great job keeping the finish nice, frankly.
Yes.
All things considered. But they did, for $7,500, I guess they wanted to make sure you saw every scratch before you bought it.
if I was paying $7,500, I would see every scratch.
No, this looks great. I love the
does.
way the pickups, the cream cover on the pickups works with the blonde and the neck through there. It's beautiful.
Yeah. Must sustain for friggin' ever.
Mm,
Dang.
very good. Very good. Okay.
What's up next? The PRS
what is this?
SE DGT, the David Grissom PRS SE version, which is the import one.
Okay.
It's fine. It's a PRS. It's an import PRS, which is to say, it's a good guitar. They're really good. They're like really, really good. But I do think the DGT is pretty boring looking.
Yeah, it's this looks like it has dot inlays.
I think they're actually crescent moons.
Oh, okay. I just can't, the photography, once again, I can't quite tell from what I'm seeing here, but that's, okay, so cool. Very good. Yeah, it's fine.
I've heard people love the DGT stuff, so.
Yeah. Once again, we're proving that it's not just the unattainable super, $250,000 guitars that, okay.
You know what I'm realizing right now, though, as we talk about, I've heard people like this. I've not heard of a guitar from PRS that doesn't do well. Everything that they've put out in the last, 20 years, I've heard.
No lines that they discontinued or anything?
I mean, they do. Like all brands do that, or they just kind of morph it into something else. It seems like they listen to a player. They listen to player feedback a lot, and so I don't know. It's just there are obviously PRS guitars out there that did not succeed, and there are these weird one-off things through the years, or they ran for a few years at a time. But I don't know. They just these days, especially with the SE stuff, it just seems like they're knocking it out of the park every time.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, it sounds like it's an iterative process, right? So,
which is what it should be.
Yeah. So probably if there's a guitar that didn't succeed, it was like, well, 5 features from this we're thinking we're the reason, and now we're so let's just come up with a new set of 3 letters and fix that.
Do you know this thing about, was it World War I or no, World War II air fighters and stuff? When they would return to the base with a bunch of damage on them, they would look at all the bullet holes and be like, oh my God, look at all these bullet holes. We have to reinforce the plane in these areas. And the truth is, you actually need to reinforce the planes in the areas that it wasn't shot, because the ones that were shot there didn't make it back.
Sure, right.
You know what I mean?
Getting a few holes in these spots didn't stop them.
Is clearly fine. Yeah. So you got to kind of flip.
It's like
invert the way you're thinking about that. And I think PRS does that kind of thing really well.
Yeah. Okay. Right on. Okay. Are we good? We're good.
Yeah.
Clicking it. Oh, cool. I like this.
61.
I like an SG though.
61 Les Paul, buddy.
Oh, sorry. It's a 61 Les. I enjoy this Les Paul.
Yeah, there you go. 61
cool.
Les Paul SG standard. What was this? Pelham blue, and then it just faded away?
Looks like it. Pelham blue until somebody's baby touched it for a long time.
Yeah.
Is probably what happened. It is. It looks sticky.
Also, there's got to be
an SG, whatever.
I do
so
too.
Sue me.
There's got to be a reason those parts are all still so shiny.
You think it's the stickiness?
Oh, like a protective film?
So it's actually a natural defense mechanism of the SG. It's like the banana slug secretes a slime when a predator starts to get it, and it's a very foul-tasting slime. Mm-hmm. And that's what an SG does.
Like,
that's what.
Yeah, like the bitterness coating that they put on Nintendo Switch games, or coin
so
batteries.
Babies don't swallow them.
Yeah,
Is that real?
yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, because Switch games are no bigger than an SD card, so it's very easy to swallow, and
they might be near babies,
and they taste like a battery. So,
so obviously, I mean, my mouth is watering right now.
Not for the right reasons, but
just thinking about it. But
yeah.
So wait, I'm sorry. What was the comment that it's still shiny?
I just think like the pickups and all the hardware look too brand fucking new for this guitar to actually be from 1961, or at least those parts to be from 1961.
Right.
But hey,
the neck looks legit. The body looks legit. Everything else, no, thank you. I think. I think you're probably right.
It seems like they probably replaced some parts, which is fine.
Yeah. Not that would bother me personally, but blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Okay. Oh, look at this fruity number. What is this? A Guild Surfliner.
There you go.
Surfliner Deluxe. I was so sure it was saying the word sure to me. Anyway, the Guild Surfliner, whatever. The opportunity to impress you all, it was over years ago. So
that's true.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
I like the color.
Yeah. I like the color.
Some emerald green.
SSH. HSS.
Yep.
Anyway.
I would say HSS, but this is not a hill I'm willing to die on. And this is exactly the kind of thing I see comment sections talking about and then just run away from my computer as fast as possible.
This is like tabs versus spaces if you're a programmer, right?
Yeah. I like the tailpiece. It's cool. It looks like a 5-way selector, blocked and bound neck. Cool pickguard shape.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's green. I think we said you liked the color. We didn't tell. We're forgetting
secret,
that this.
But that's fine.
Anyway. Okay. Secret. Okay. So here, what do we got? ES 175D. So in 1966, what would so this is an older brother to a 335? I guess.
Ish.
Look at the size of the pickups here. Look at the depth. Because they have to basically
top style, yeah.
Yeah, they basically got to treat it like a violin when they're this big.
Cool guitar.
That's pretty cool. I've never really played anything like this at all. So
I've never had
it's tough to know because this would feel even different from an acoustic guitar in that sense. There's just that very cello build to it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like strings on top of a body rather than like a solid body guitar. It feels kind of more like one piece, I think.
Yeah.
But it's got a wood bridge. It's got this arch top thing going on and the big trapeze tailpiece, but it's got 2 humbuckers.
Yeah.
And 4-way controls and a toggle switch. So I
feel like it'd just be so enormous. I would feel like I'm reaching way out here to kind of anyway. Yeah.
I like the split block inlays.
Mm-hmm. The rhombus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet this guitar is really cool. I would love to try one. Something like that, some big jazz box thing, and then play Led Zeppelin riffs on it.
It's tough to know from this, but it does kind of look like it's like baby shit color.
Yeah, the color is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's got to be like a walnut color, right?
I would hope, but there's just some sicky green yellow tone to it that hopefully is just the lighting, I'll say.
I'm willing to bet it is because I bet whatever it's on is supposed to be white. I think the white balance is not right.
Okay. Yeah. Hopefully that's true because you can't repaint a guitar like this.
I wouldn't either. It's from 1966.
That's why. Because of its age. It's not because you physically can't.
It's
because you can't. Okay. It's another Squier Telly.
Yeah.
Satin
cool
mocha,
color
though. Yeah. Satin is. I like satin. You know what? More satin. Everybody.
Dude, I think it might have been this guitar, this 40th anniversary one, in a really cool colorway at the local store. It was like a pretty medium red, but a little on the dark side, but it wasn't maroon by any stretch. So it was like this rich red satin finish with a metal black brushed aluminum pickguard. Looks awesome. So awesome. Really great color I say that because my Novo's back here with the same color combination, but
Well, you don't say that because
no, but it's
your
obviously
Nova
I
is
really
that color combo because
yeah. But the satin finish was such a cool vibe. I would never be able to keep that kind of thing clean, and I think that would bother me more
because of the satin.
Yeah, because it would buff up.
Oh.
Have you ever seen that?
But if you degloss a neck, it stays deglossed. But I guess that's because you're cutting through the finish.
Yeah, that's
There's
because
no
you're
more finish
sanding
to
back
polish.
the clear coat.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
You could get a satin finish oil. you'd have to treat your guitar like a table.
Like a
Right.
a satin safe guitar polish.
Right, exactly. So you'd have to have it not have any clear on it. Basically, you'd have it oiled instead of polyed or nitroed.
It's still got to
what I
be
mean?
nitroed though, because otherwise it would just
Is
be. I mean, must, right? I mean, it would have to be protected from something.
Well, but with the oil, I don't know. I mean, table. This is
Well, I
like
guess,
we have
yeah.
we have our table that we have to use special cleaner on it to make sure
Yeah.
it doesn't remove too much of the oil, and the cleaner we use actually has a little bit of the oil mixed in with it.
Mhm. Yeah,
But
all right,
it's
fair.
it's a
I've
good
seen plenty
finish.
of-
It's just you gotta know. It's not. It's a higher maintenance finish, and it's like you have to know what to do with it, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So
friend of the show, Taylor, you've seen his crazy 6-string basses. Those have an oil finish, and they just feel
okay,
like they're just like they feel like furniture. Like that's what
Right.
I've said to him before. They feel like wood and like furniture. They don't.
yeah.
You can feel the wood grain, but it's not like raised grain. It's hard to explain, but
It's
yeah,
just
I know what you're talking
existent. Yeah, yeah.
about. Yeah, it's just there.
It just is. It's
Yeah.
just- that was a classic. All right. Going on. What do I? Oh, it's a Nintendo Switch guitar. I see it now. So this is the 1975 Black Ibanez 2402. Okay, so this is a real thing. So this is like a double neck guitar, a double neck SG basically, except it disconnects like the
Yeah.
controllers off of a Nintendo Switch. So,
I had a link
gotta-
for it, but it's now bringing me to the wrong place, which is really bothering me.
oh, that sucks. So there's a
Yeah.
12 string on, typical 12 string and a 6 string.
Yep, it's
Um,
the 12-string setup, but there's what appears to be like a strap button. Like,
Pair of
can
them.
can you click that photo? Will it expand?
No,
help us
it's
at all?
I can
No.
just it's kind of low res. I can see it.
Okay.
So basically, it looks like a pair of strap buttons on the cut edge, and then I can see what looks
Some
like
kind
a
of-
metal plate. So that's probably like a receiving thing that's
A
gonna
pin or
Yeah.
like a registration thing, a keyhole.
yeah. So it's keyhole. Yes, exactly. So that
Yeah.
those are gonna lock in. And then I imagine there's probably a clip on the back, so you'd lock it in, and then a clip to prevent it from sliding back out again.
Probably.
But we can't
Um,
see because we can't follow the link.
Right. So again with the split block. So this is an Ibanez and they're like rip off of Gibson era, like the Gibson they call them lawsuit era guitars. And if
Uh-huh.
you can find a lawsuit era, whether it's like a Greco or an Ibanez or something, they tend to be bangers from what I've heard. I've never actually played one, but people really love to collect those, and I think they're pretty cool, honestly.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl
It's
played
so-
a
they're so
double neck
edgy.
SG.
Yes, I saw a picture of that. Everyone was
Yeah.
very worked up about it.
Yeah, so he played a double neck SG, and you would think it's like the what is it, the EDS 1275 or whatever, and which is the 12 string and the 6 string together. But Dave's
Yeah.
was 2 6 strings, which I'd never seen before. So it
So it's
had to
just
be
like
a custom
for sake of
him.
a tuning or something.
And one of the guitars was capoed at like the 6th or 7th fret, pretty high.
Oh, okay, for capo. Yeah, there you go.
And he played it for one song, and it was The Teacher, which is that like 10-minute epic on their
Yeah.
newest record. So
And they played the whole thing kind of.
the whole
yeah.
thing. They played that 10-minute song as part of the encore. Can I just throw that out there? Those fucking knuckleheads, right?
You bunch of jokers. So what would you, I mean, you look like a tool if you play this disconnected from itself, right? Like,
I really struggle with double necks in the first place.
oh, sure. But like, imagine you have this guitar for the express purpose of, and now I don't have to use the double neck if I don't want to. But then
But
you're
it-
sitting there with like 3/4 of a guitar in your arms.
Yeah, what looks worse, the double
Right.
neck or half a double neck?
Because so here's what I'm imagining, right? Like, well, I only need my 12 string for this gig, and you turn up, and everybody's like, "Yo, what the fuck's up with the bottom half of your guitar?" And now you have to explain that, right?
But okay, what if flip that around? Oh, I need
Yeah.
my 12 string for this gig. Better grab my double neck.
But
Right,
you
like,
don't
is
have
that-
to.
is that-
I guess. I don't know. I don't know if that's worse, but at least you don't have to explain it to somebody. Somebody's like,
I think if you're
"Oh, this
at
guy's
a
got a
gig-
double neck."
if
They
you're
already know all the information they need. They know everything they need to know about you the moment they see you holding a double neck guitar.
Exactly my point.
I was about to have a conversation with you, but don't worry, I figured it all out.
Yeah. And
Have a nice day.
This is the thing. Like, who do we know that plays double necks kind of famously? Jimmy Page.
Besides Dave Grohl, you mean?
Dave Grohl, Claudio, like from Coheed, right? All of these larger than life character guitarists that are like awesome and like the bleeding edge of like the rock and roll god kind of thing in the modern age. Who is the double neck for? If not, it's for them, but like they don't need to sell those to the general public.
The double neck is like a it's like an MTV mythology joke being played on the public or something.
Yeah, like no one.
Oh my God.
I don't know. I don't know really anything about the history of double necks, and I would be really curious to learn that. I think just like what was the goal? Like, was it to just let's see if we can do it? Because that's kudos there. Like I respect that. But if it's like this is going to improve player efficiency by having two, no, like that's dumb. We're not burdened by. It's like, okay, you carry around two guitars, or you carry around one guitar that's twice the size and weight of one guitar. So like, which is it? Next.
Well, anyway, yep.
86.
A Flying V.
In like what is this, like a surf green?
Yeah, it's very light, isn't it? It could be a surf green against the red here.
86 Flying V.
Mm-hmm.
I like it when Gibson had colors like this that were like a little more Fendery.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a mashup.
It's like a Cadillac-y looking thing. It makes the Flying V look. Now, did Flying Vs always have rounded corners like that?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. All right. So they're not like rounding it off to make it look more Cadillac. Nope. All right.
It's interesting you say that because Fender's original paint catalog was the DuPont paint catalog, and DuPont made paint for General Motors. So there are many, I've said this on the show in the past, there are many guitars that share the exact color with cars from that era, including Cadillac. So kind of cool.
Yeah, it's funny. In my mind, the Flying V was like the BC Rich, like knife edge sort of thing.
As far as I know, Gibson didn't really do like the sharp, pointy stuff. It was all the other brands that took the Flying V and then like made them pokey.
Yeah. They sharpened it, honed it down. All right. And we're back. Oh, sorry. We're not back. Yeah. It's a different guitar.
Number 20.
That's a pretty
yet another
handsome one. Yeah, a 59 Les Paul Sunburst. What are you going to do?
Beautiful top.
Yeah. This happens to be a very handsome one. So
yeah.
And notice the pickups look like they could possibly be legit. This looks like it's very well kept. So it doesn't have any of that aging checking sort of business. At least none that is obvious in this photo. Yeah.
I like it when you have a guitar top like this where you can clearly see both grain structures, which is the plain top that's kind of there as part of the wood, but then the flame is in the light. You can kind of catch it.
Right. It's
I like that a lot.
Implied. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Love that.
That's 20 of the most watched guitars of 2023.
So
20% of them are Les Pauls.
Yeah, so this slideshow at the bottom, I can't just like scroll in it. Yeah, the first like 4 and then some of the others. So
Gibson Electric's taking up 11 spots total. Top 6 are all late 50s, early 60s Les Pauls.
Yeah. Are you trying to trick me into ranting about Gibson?
Me? No, never.
Okay. I would never do that. That's cool. All right, I'm happy with that. I have a little detail
here for you.
Oh, okay. What's up?
Okay, so that 66 ES 175D, the Jazz Box archtop thing, is a very rare color called Royal Olive. So it is just that color.
Oh.
No thanks.
So we're talking about this one. Yeah, but I still don't think we really know what it looks like.
Fair.
Because who knows what's going on with the white balance here, like you say.
Yeah. Was it an ES 175?
Olive. It's a 175D. I'm trying to let myself be influenced by the word olive, I guess.
Oh,
as
interesting.
I look at the color.
Here's another photo. Let me
hold on, hold.
Wait. Oh no, this is that guitar. There are other photos here. Let me click through quick. Okay. I'm going to send you this link here in the old general chat there. Some of the photos are still problematic as far as like seeing the color difference, but you can clearly see the green in a bunch of them. I still don't really like it, especially the photo of it in its case. You can really tell, which is the last photo here.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking at the back now where the green is more obvious. It's less baby shit to me than, it was honestly, this like, is it green, is it yellow thing that was really bothering me. And I'm trying, as I say, to let myself be influenced by the word olive because that's
I think it looks like
not,
looks like,
let's get to the
like
case.
avocado that's been out of the fridge too long. Like mashed avocado
you found
that
an
you left on the counter.
unappetizing thing instead of sticking with the word olive.
Like it's still good. Like it's fine. There we go. See, look at how green.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
I bet it looked a lot better without
guitars?
the yellowed without the yellowed binding. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point. If that were white from the factory when it was new, I bet that looked pretty cool.
Is it
Grover's
in its case? I'm just like trying.
Yeah, there's like a million photos.
Oh yeah. So against the sort of blue. By the way, I love the blue insides of the case.
Yeah.
I have just now, like I saw this picture with the blue velvet inside this case, and my dad's Martin D35 that he had from when I was a tiny kid to when he eventually got rid of it because it didn't have a truss rod. It was ripping itself apart, which is a shame because it was a really quite a guitar. But anyway, it had a case like that had this on the inside of it. Mm-hmm. I have a very like crawling on the floor kind of sense memory about this guitar case. Anyway.
I like guitar cases that are like plush white interior, which you don't see too often.
Yeah. Yeah. You mean like the Sherpa one from the Knife's Edge guitar or whatever it's called?
I think some of the newer
Death
Gibson
Dagger.
cases, Gibson cases are like a crushed velvet, but it's white. I just think it looks really cool. Like a crisp,
this unfortunately
cool white.
Looks really like a generic case. This doesn't fit it very well.
It does. Yeah.
It looks like it's just a case that's big enough because it's definitely not matching all those supple curves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just taking a peek at my print here. See how it's going. My buddy's printing the same exact thing.
You have a camera down there?
Well, the printer itself has a camera.
Okay, rad.
Which is mind-blowingly awful. I cannot stress how surprised I am at how bad it is. It's unbelievable.
The camera quality?
The camera quality is atrocious. It is absolutely horrible. It's like one frame every 2.5 seconds.
Do you need more frames than that?
Yes, because it's actually just taking photos and sending them because there's a ton of motion.
Yeah.
Like, so the parts all look distorted as it whips the bed back and forth.
Yeah. But I'm thinking like if the camera is just for checking on your print that it hasn't failed, that's fine. But unfortunately we have and it's taking a photo that has that doesn't have a shutter speed that's usable for what they're trying to use. So that, they didn't even test it, man. That's no good.
It's no good. So it's just it's like doing that. I forget the term for it. Rolling shutter. That's what it is. So it's doing a rolling because it's a bed slinger. If the y-axis moves the bed itself rather than the print head. So it whips this part back and forth, and because of the rolling shutter, it looks all bendy and all warped
it's
and
like
weird.
When you take a video of a airplane rotor.
Yes,
or helicopter
exactly.
rotor, right? Because of the way digital photography. That's what you mean by rolling shutter, right? Because it's not like
that's the photography term for it. If you move too quickly, all of the elements in your frame can tip to one side.
Yeah. So it's not that it like a traditional photography you'd get blur. That's not motion blur. It's by the time those pixels were being read onto the sensor, the thing was in a different spot. So
and analog shutters are a curtain method, and there's a leading edge and a following edge, and then the whole assembly resets. So when you have long exposure times, it would like open one side and then close the other side to meet it. But when it's a super fast shutter speed, and as many photos are in the fractions of a second, it's the leading edge and then the following edge are traveling at the same time. And so you're exposing the film from left to right at this little slit that's seeing. So it's not exposing the whole frame for a 60th of a second or whatever. It's doing it in little pieces. And now you translate that to digital and it looks like fucking crazy. So I think it's still okay, but my friend who's just printing the same thing because he's been troubleshooting this with me said his just failed. And so now I'm like, oh my God, I've been in this print for
wow.
I've been in this version since like 2 p.m. today. And I'm almost halfway through. So it's got 9 hours and change left to go. But I'm going to pause it overnight because I would hate for it to fail. And then like right after I go to bed and keeps going, running out empty filament. And at least if I'm more likely to check on it periodically through the day and stop it before it just runs itself dry. So
yeah.
Frustrating.
Well, there you go.
They did a really cool thing with the design of this helmet. It's textured to the point of looking like fabric, so it hides the layer lines. So off the print bed, it's like good to go. You really don't need to do anything.
Wow.
And so all of that little micro texture that it's putting in, some people are speculating can vibrate things in a way that will shake it apart, like shake the part off the bed.
Right. It's not going to stick anymore.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Well, yeah. Whatever. I don't have a printer. I'm not even going to speculate.
And I've already reoriented it a bunch of different ways. It's a whole thing, but I'll keep you posted. So, all right, let's get out of here.
We've done it. So I'll tell you what, if dear audience, these sorts of lists and stuff, there are more of these. They exist, and if they're fun show topics for you, I would love to know, rather than just either continuing to do them in a vacuum and having everybody not really care for it and not know that, or not doing them anymore and having people be like, hey, how come you don't do that anymore?
Yeah, right.
So I would love to have the feedback, in Discord or whatever. You know what else? Spotify, who syndicates the podcast, regardless of whether you listen on Apple or anything, we upload to Spotify and they send it to everybody else. That's the way it works these days. They have, if you are a Spotify user of the podcast, they have comments built in now. They've been just so excited to fucking tell me about that. And so anyway, YouTube has comments. Everybody knows about YouTube. Spotify now has a YouTube-like comment system right in there. And I think that's cool. Like the whole podcast reviews. We would love podcast reviews, but it is definitely the sort of thing where that has culturally like left us, I think, comments are the new
comment
thing,
sections are point is, however you can get a hold of, you can even fucking email us, I don't care, you can get to us however.
You can email us, Gramps.
We will sincerely take a look at what you have to say. It's going to go to us, like for real. So if you have a thing that you want us to change about the show, let us know, or don't change about the show, let us know.
Yeah, feedback. I'm not saying I'm going to listen to all the things and do everything you say, but I am saying I do want to know what you think,
I'll listen.
Yeah.
Or maybe I won't do anything about it.
Did I say I might not listen? No, that's what I mean. I mean, I'm going to receive the idea. I don't want to give people the impression that if you tell me to put on a green hat, I am going to put on a green hat. That's not the way that this relationship works. However,
I think they get it.
You think I should say it a few more different ways, though?
What if the hat's blue? You got to think of the week?
I'm not sure I do. I'm thinking of another board game we played, but I'm not sure I can remember the title. Do you have a thing of the week, Derek?
I don't think I do, but we can just like say fuck it and get out of here.
Fuck it.
Yeah,
we've been running long. So
we've been going long. Yeah, I'm just looking through my phone a little bit. No, actually, I got a pick of the week real quick. It's the Home Depot exclusive Ryobi mini hot glue gun.
Shit,
it's
dude,
actually
it's the best fucking hot glue gun.
Honestly, though, it is because it's cordless.
Oh shoot. Oh man, that would be life-changing. Because let me tell you, I have a mini hot glue gun and it's not cordless. And let me tell you what, its mininess is a severe fucking problem because that cord weighs way more than the stupid thing and it gets hot as fuck. And my kid is like, I want to hot glue some stuff. And I'm like, well, I can't fucking do it for you or you'll never learn how to be around dangerous things. So I just sit there like this. Fucking don't burn yourself.
Yep, that shit's hot. But it runs on the Ryobi batteries that I already have. Yep. It snaps into the base.
The set.
The hot glue gun snaps into that thing on the top. And it's got a little battery in the gun itself. So you can put it back in its dock. It's got a little thing that will catch drips and stuff. It's friggin' so smart.
I like that. So it's going to stand itself up because of that thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
Brilliant. And it's $30.
For your droiding.
For my droiding, it's $30. Why not have it? It's more if you need the batteries, but I already had some. So
buy into the system. All right, that's fun.
Good, that's it. All right, let's thank those patrons. I just realized how late it was and how long we've been going. I'm sorry.
Sorry, everybody. I'm not sorry. You like content. Sorry to us. Sorry, Derek.
That's all right.
The way to support the show, if you want to do that, besides comments, is Patreon and joining Discord and joining our mailing list. Those links are in your show notes, as you know, because you're not an idiot. So patron, do it. It's fine. Do it. Support the show if you can. It's very
really cheap. It funds the fun things, the funds, funding. Yes. So we got to do another giveaway. We keep talking about that.
That's true. We've been a little long on that. All right. Next episode's a giveaway episode, announcement. Next episode's an announcement because we got to figure out what it is.
Yeah. I'm going to just write myself a note to
just going to put a sticky on my head. All right. So anyway, and the Patreon patron supporters that we love and cherish so dearly for this week are going to include Rabbi Bob, Stingo Rar, Carson Ricketts, Matthew Fenslaw, Ryzen Wolf, Brian Gower of the Tone Jerks podcast. And he said, oh shit to me.
No, you're good. Keep going.
Andrew Walsh of Andrew's Alcove, Sean Wright of Lollygagger Effects, Doug Gann, and of course, Ho. I kept thinking maybe my screen hadn't updated and you were still typing.
No, that's correct. You have
it's correct.
Proper pronunciation and everything.
All right. Special thanks to Ho this week. Thanks, Ho. Mm-hmm. See you next time.
See you. Bye.